Welcome to BBC News. I'm ALPA PATEL. Our top stories. International sanctions have been lifted against Iran after the UN nuclear watchdog confirmed Tehran had complied with a deal struck in July. Both the EU and America have confirmed the move, which will allow Iran to sell oil freely again. Well, separately, American and Iran have reached an agreement to exchange prisoners in what is being seen as a thawing of relations. Well, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has congratulated the Iranian. So what effect will the lifting of these sanctions have on ordinary working people in Iran? These street traders in Tehran gave their opinion. But we seem to... Oh, no, we are back with... I'm afraid we have lost Dr. Patrick Clausen, Director of Research at the US think tank, but we'll move on. There will be 3 days of national mourning in Burkina Faso following an attack by Islamist militants on a hotel in the capital, Ouagadougou. At least 29 people from 18 different countries have been killed. Of those identified so far, 6 were Canadians, 2 French and 2 were Swiss citizens. Taiwan has elected its first ever female president. Tsai Ing-wen of the Democratic Progressive Party secured a decisive victory in national elections. In her victory speech, she said Beijing must respect Taiwan's democracy and called on both sides to refrain from future provocations. Rupert Wingfield-Hayes reports. Stay with us here on BBC News, still to come. The Archbishop of Canterbury says he's working with other Christian churches to agree on a fixed date for Easter. This is BBC News. I'm ALPA PATEL. Latest headlines. More on our main story. Our correspondent Barbara Plett-Usher in Washington assesses what Iran's nuclear deal means for US diplomacy. Well, the lifting of sanctions against Iran is likely to open up new investment opportunities. Dominic Booker-Ingram from the London-based Charlemagne Capital is hoping to launch an Iranian investment fund now that sanctions are lifted. I spoke to him a little earlier and his thoughts on the state of the country's economy. Instability. We know about the conflict in Syria and deteriorating relations between Iran and Saudi Arabia. What impact might that have? Dominic Booker-Ingram speaking to me a little earlier. Rescuers have pulled dozens of migrants out of the sea who were trying to reach Europe from Turkey by boat. Many people are still attempting the crossing to Greece at night to avoid detection, despite the freezing weather making conditions even more treacherous. Our correspondent Mark Lowen reports now from Turkey. Indonesia's head of police says 12 people have been detained in connection with the attacks on Jakarta last Thursday. Police say they have also identified 4 out of 5 of the attackers. The BBC's Rebecca Henschke has more from Jakarta. In other news, the government of the Maldives... That's it, but stay with us here on BBC World News. The latest headlines from BBC News. I'm ALPA PATEL. Now on BBC News, it's time for Reporters.